what's so great about being yourself, and you can be like everyone.
Have you ever seen such a bizarre woman? She woke up in the middle of the night, used a power drill to secure her boots, and her cosmetics were actually ashes. She emerged from the sewer holding flowers, as it turned out to be her wedding day. However, the townspeople considered them all freaks and wanted to drive them out of town. Facing a large number of enemies, Gomez could only hastily end the wedding and flee with Morticia. They climbed a steep cliff and drove away from the town. By chance, they discovered a mysterious castle, dark and terrifying, which they found to their liking, so they settled there. They later had a son and a daughter, who inherited their eccentric genes. Wednesday slept under a guillotine every day and loved to tease her brother. Her brother always tried to challenge her authority, but he always ended up failing. Parsley had no choice but to focus his attention on his father, Gomez. Parsley watched his father's every move through a telescope. Van began his crazy actions. He boarded a rocket and launched into the sky. With a loud explosion, the rocket streaked across the sky, heading straight for Gomez's head. Fortunately, Gomez was agile and managed to dodge the rocket by bending backward. The rocket exploded in mid-air, and Parsley deployed his parachute. He fired a bomb at Gomez's location using a slingshot. Parsley's actions finally enraged Gomez. Gomez struck the parachute with a baseball bat, putting an end to Parsley's antics. Wednesday also decided to play a prank on Parsley. Wednesday knew Parsley was highly averse to Mojiokaya, so she lured Parsley into a hole and told him this would help him avoid Mojiokaya. Parsley believed Wednesday's words and crawled into the hole. Suddenly, Wednesday heard the sound of a bell outside the castle. She opened the door to investigate, but the sound gradually faded away. This puzzled Wednesday, so she asked about it at the dinner table. The news shocked everyone, but Morticia replied that there was only a swamp outside and nothing else. The next day, balloons and colorful paper scattered across every corner of the town outside the castle, and some balloons even drifted into the castle. When Wednesday asked her mother again while holding a balloon, the Addams family realized something was wrong. It turned out that the thick fog outside the castle was gradually dissipating, and the Addams family's residence was now exposed to the world. They also saw the true face of the town, so they decided to meet their new neighbors. When they arrived in the town, they found that it was no longer the same as before, but the people in the town still avoided them like the plague. Gomez went to a coffee shop and, under the terrified gaze of the staff, filled a cup with coffee grounds. At that moment, a woman named Marg appeared and warmly welcomed the Addams family. After learning about the Addams family situation, Marg, a renowned interior designer, decided to offer them a free interior design consultation. The next day, Marg brought her daughter Parker and her staff to tour the castle. But when the butler came to greet them, he accidentally barred Parker from entering. Park had to sit on the swing and take photos, which caught Wednesday's attention. During her conversation with Park, Wednesday learned that there was a group of school bullies at Park's school who enjoyed picking on others, which deeply piqued Wednesday's interest. Since bullying Parsley had lost its appeal, she decided to visit the town school to meet these so-called school bullies. Meanwhile, Marg, who was inside the castle, had finished her tour and presented some renovation plans. However, these plans clearly involved demolishing, and her rude behavior angered Morticia. Gomez also realized something was wrong and immediately drove Marg and her group away. After obtaining her parents' permission, Wednesday went to the school. After greeting Parker, Wednesday met the school bullies Parker had mentioned. The leader of this group was the popular Bethany. She poured moldy sandwiches and drinks into Parker's backpack, and Parker had grown accustomed to it and could only endure it. But Wednesday showed no fear and directly issued a warning to Bethany. Seeing Wednesday's fierce gaze, Bethany could only temporarily back down. However, Wednesday had no intention of letting them off the hook. During a frog dissection class, the students were all a bit scared. But this was too basic for Wednesday. She wanted to try something more advanced. She brought out some equipment, through a series of operations, actually revived the dead frogs. Wednesday controlled them to run toward Bethany, who was so scared that she ran out of the classroom. After this incident, Wednesday made 2 new friends. That evening, Wednesday's grandmother also arrived. She jumped out of the fireplace and gave Parsley candy as a gift. While Wednesday's grandmother and Morticia were chatting, Wednesday returned from school. Wednesday was about to go upstairs without saying a word, but her mother called out to her, Wednesday turned around, and her mother noticed that Wednesday was wearing a pink hairpin. This surprised her greatly. But she accepted it. However, her mother's reaction made Wednesday feel restricted again. So the next day, Wednesday found Park and told her about it. This resonated with Park, as she had also been restricted by her mother for a long time. She actually wanted to wear an outfit that would catch her mother's eye and surprise her. Wednesday was very rebellious, so she decided to do what she wanted with Park. That evening, Wednesday came home wearing a pink outfit and singing. Seeing that Wednesday was starting to transform from an oddball into a normal person, Morticia decided to stop Wednesday from going to school. But Wednesday felt restricted, so after telling her brother, she ran away from home. On the other side, Parker styled her hair and put on heavy makeup. Parker's new look was completely different from her previous good-girl style, and Marg was furious. Parker began to argue with her mother. Angry Marg decided to take revenge on the Addams family. Earlier, Marg had not communicated properly with the Addams family about the demolition of the castle. She came up with a cunning plan to use a public relations scandal to bring down the Addams family. She posted rumors using different accounts, and the townspeople believed them. They all wanted to drive the Addams family out of town. After Wednesday moved into Parker's house, she and Parker searched the entire house for the phone her mother had hidden, but they couldn't find it. The only place left to search was Marg's studio, but Marg had strictly forbidden anyone from entering her studio. Since he wasn't anywhere else in the house, it must be in the studio. Park decided to rebel to the end. After entering the studio, they not only found Park's phone, but also discovered Marg's secret. Marg had installed cameras in many people's homes during the interior renovation. Everyone in the town was under Marg's surveillance. Suddenly, Marg returned. Fearing that Park would expose her secret, she locked them in the attic. This was the day Parsley was scheduled to perform his knife-throwing act. The mazurka, members of the Addams family began arriving at the castle one by one. Meg also planned to start her live stream today to ensure the smooth operation of the program. Maggie spread rumors again. She gathered everyone near her house and announced over a loudspeaker that the Addams family might launch an nighttime raid on the town. She planned to stop the Addams family's malicious actions. Everyone believed Maggie's words and followed her to confront the Addams family. Inside the castle, an exciting show was unfolding, and the family members were eagerly anticipating the sword-fighting mazurka. Parsley selected a few others to join him on stage for a sword-fighting duel, but the result ended with Parsley's wife's defeat. Parsley apologized to his father in disappointment, but his father did not blame him. Suddenly, a large rock fell into the castle. It turned out that Marg had led the townspeople to the castle, and they had set up catapults to attack the castle. Gomez and Parsley explained that the true meaning of the sword dance was to protect one's family. He urged Parsley to fully utilize his expertise. Though Parsley's sword skills were lacking, he was an explosives expert. Now it was Parsley's turn to shine. Parsley used the slingshot to launch bombs, reducing the rocks to powder. When he used the bombs to blast a hole in the wall, preparing to lead his people to escape, a boulder blocked their path. Just as the roof was about to collapse, Wednesday finally arrived. He controlled the willow tree to save the Addams family. After everyone in the family had escaped the castle, Parsley precisely shot the bomb onto the catapult, completing a perfect mazurka. Seeing that the castle couldn't be demolished today, Marg prepared to leave with Parker, but Parker exposed all of Marg's actions through a live stream. Maggie's actions sparked public outrage, and her boss called her directly to fire her. At this point, Mephitspole seized the opportunity and distributed the houses Maggie couldn't sell to the clan members. After learning the truth, the townspeople also wanted to make amends to the Addams family. They worked together to rebuild the castle, and the Addams family officially integrated into the town.